Alright, I decided to do my project on doing an online course evaluation, doing it between online course created with Captivate, which is an Adobe product, compared to an online course created with something else that was not Captivate. With the basics, I'll click on that. When asked me, have you selected an educational technology for your education? I said yes. What is the name of your educational technology you are testing? I said Adobe Captivate. What outcome do you hope to change by using the technology? I said student interest and engagement. Who are or will be your technology users? I said teachers and students will use the online course. And then it said, great, you are now ready to begin designing your research approach. Determine your approach. Will you conduct the evaluation with current users of the Adobe Captivate, or do you plan to conduct it with new users as part of either an expansion or new implementation of Captivate? I said new. Can you offer Adobe Captivate to just a portion of new users, leaving you with a similar group of teachers and students who will use the online course who have never used the Adobe Captivate? I said yes. Will you determine which teachers and students will use the online course, get access to Adobe Captivate, and which teachers and students will use the online course do not? I said the method you choose will affect how confident you can be that your technology causes the outcomes you observe, and your findings will apply to a broader population of teachers and students will be the online course. I did the random assignment, which was recommended. And it said, great, based on your answers, the coach will guide you through a randomized pilot. The coach will use a random assignment tool to select the classes to be in your treatment and comparison groups. Who is your technology and how? This was just a kind of a guide. I guess nothing was really there. So we'll skip that one. So on to planning your research. Craft your research question. At the end of this assignment, or end of this portion, my question was, does Adobe Captivate increase student interest and engagement as measured by with an online course created by Captivate among undergraduate students compared to a similar online course not developed by Captivate? I think the question made sense. Think about how to use your results. What is the cost of Adobe Captivate? I did my own. The monthly subscription is $29.99 per month, but that comes with an annual commitment and a termination fee. You can buy Adobe Captivate for $1,000.99 or $1,099, which is the 2017 release. Adobe products are never cheap, but I always find them worth the cost. That was just for one lease. For multiple leases, I would need to contact Adobe and talk with a representative and get a quote for the school district. And for the school district, where did I go? I work for, yes. We all know how Adobe works. You have to get a quotation for a school district. I love Adobe. I am totally supportive of Adobe products. Always will be. That's why I chose Adobe Captivate. But it does come with a pricey cost. What would success look like? What is the direction of intended change in student interest and engagement? I said increase. What measure will you use to test whether there was an effect with an online course created by Captivate? What unit of measurement does an online course created by Captivate use to measure student interest and engagement? I said percentage points. I would consider an increase at least 10 percentage points on with an online course created by Captivate success. How confident do you want to be that Adobe Captivate moved the needle? If I learned that there was a 50% probability that Adobe Captivate increases student interest and engagement by 10 or more percentage points, I would feel comfortable concluding that Adobe Captivate had intended effect. Adobe Captivate did not move the needle if I learned that there was less than a 25% probability that Adobe Captivate increases student interest and engagement by 10 or more percent points. I would feel comfortable in concluding that Adobe Captivate did not have the intended effect. What will you do if the evidence suggests that there is likely that Adobe Captivate increases student interest and engagement among undergraduate students compared to similar online course not developed by Captivate? I said use Captivate to develop online courses. Suggest Captivate to schools looking for online course development. The evidence suggests that it's not likely that Adobe Captivate increased student interest and engagement among undergraduate students compared to similar online course not developed by Captivate. I said suggest not using Captivate's online course developers. The results are inconclusive. Collect more data to improve the precision of my analysis. Working with EdTech providers. I did write a letter to Marta, who was a lady that I worked with, and she helped me. I think I have that letter somewhere. I can show you. Email Captivate. And it said, Dear Marta Olson, I, Rich Malone, plans to conduct an evaluation of Adobe Captivate to build online courses. As part of the planning for this evaluation, I would like to set up an introductory telephone call between myself, you, and your school district. The purpose of this call is to discuss using Captivate to create your own online courses in high school, what courses we plan to evaluate, how we plan to evaluate them, and the length of the study. It would be ideal to include other network administrators who are familiar with the implementation of their own online courses and with products data reporting capabilities. If you feel that you are not in the position to help with this study, please forward this message to whoever you think would be best placed to speak with us about these topics. Also, kindly suggest some times that would work on your end for a phone call. I expect this would take about 60 minutes. Thank you for advance for your cooperation. With best regards, Rich Malone, graduate student. I also did do a tech discussion with Marta. It kind of goes through responses with Marta about the product and intended benefits. She explains that the intended purpose and the benefits of evaluating Captivate, the type of assessments that we would use, the external outcomes we measured, since we did choose the type of courses that were used and in the study. So what the students evaluated are listed in this discussion. Close out of this. Summarize context. I did my evaluation from 3/26/2017 to 4/9/27. What is Adobe Captivate? I said it's curriculum, practice, supplement, assessment, professional learning, and information management. I think it applied to all 6. What is the purpose of Adobe Captivate? I said it is a software tool to develop online courses. What are the key components of Adobe Captivate? Smart e-learning design, fluid boxes, multi-screen responsive e-learning authoring, multi-screen responsive e-learning authoring, auto migrate from non-mobile to mobile, Adobe type integration, best-in-class screen capture, Adobe Captivate Draft, round tipping with Microsoft PowerPoint Asset Store, responsive sliders, responsive text support, responsive themes, responsive motor effects without programming, customizable closed captions, shared advanced actions, published to Adobe Captivate Prime and other LMS. His multi-state objects, round tripping with Adobe CCCs, intuitive user interface, compulsive quizzing, accessibility support, text-to-speech, best-in-class HTML5, publishing, skippable vector classes, support iOS scripture, geolocation support, native app publisher, audio, video support, and synchronization, responsive draft and drops interactions, in-product LMS preview, and my master slides. I did work with it, Adobe Captivate, a little bit, my free preview of it. I did like Adobe Captivate, but I am kind of biased when it comes to Adobe products, so I can't really judge. What guidelines, if any, does the developer provide regarding how Adobe Captivate should be used or implemented? Pay as you go with flexible subscription programs for individuals and teams. Leap ahead with an author platform that does the heavy lifting of creating virtually any kind of responsive e-learning content. From application simulation to HD product demos, assessment modules, and more. Do it all with just one tool. Get unmatched values with 75,000 plus free e-learning assets. Use Adobe Captivate to move it seamlessly from storyboard to storytelling. Use deploy and manage courses to single-click publishing to Adobe Captivate Prime LMS. How is Adobe Captivate being used in your evaluation? I said every day. How is Adobe Captivate delivered to teachers and students? Will use the online course in your evaluation? I said individually in small groups, the whole class. What grade level? I said PS, which I think is post-secondary. For your evaluation, and what types of classroom was Adobe Captivate used? I said general. What outcome do you hope to change by using Adobe Captivate? I said other, student interest and engagement. What indicated your evaluation would measure student interest and engagement outcomes? More specifically, in which of the following outcome areas will you look for differences between users and non-users of Adobe Captivate? I said behavior. That's one thing that I wanted to look out most. Tell us about your school district. I was thinking about Madison in particular. I said public, suburban, South Dakota, and I did a little background information going through DSU's website. Tell us any other contextual considerations. I'm not sure what Dakota State University uses to build their online courses. Evaluation plan. The purpose of this evaluation. With many students choosing to take online courses instead of face-to-face instruction, I wanted to evaluate how Adobe Captivate uses this software to develop an online course. I then compare another online course. Another online course that was not created by Adobe Captivate to see which online course developer is more effective, not only for the development but for teachers and students. Does Adobe Captivate make navigation easier? Is it more appealing to students? Does it offer more free assets? As educators, we still want to feel that our students are engaged, and we want to see that face-to-face. We have to do our best to make sure that our online courses are empowering them beyond their own beliefs. Do our students think that taking an online course will be easier? That should not be the reason. So my purpose behind the evaluation is to find out what exactly Adobe Captivate does for an online course compared to the other softwares out there. Our research question: does Adobe Captivate increase student interest and engagement as measured with an online course created by Captivate among undergraduate students compared to similar online course not developed by Captivate? What will be tested? The evaluation will be tested effectiveness of Adobe Captivate. Adobe Captivate is a software tool to develop online courses. Key components include smart learning design, blah, 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 it will be a randomized pilot. It will be used every day. Someone of this before. These are the key milestones. Meet with a stakeholder to discuss the research plan. Assign teachers and students will use the online course to the treatment control group. Teachers and students will use the online course. Will begin using Adobe Captivate. Check technology usage. Collect outcome data, analyze data, prepare finding brief, meet with stakeholders, discuss findings. Preparing your data, preparing data for random assignment. I kind of went through this, kind of made sure that my stuff was in order. Random assignment. I did this already. It made a randomized pilot for me. Yeah, that's the same thing. Analyzing the data, get results. Same thing. I put in my outcome surveys. I did create a survey, which if I go to my Google Drive, I do have my survey there. That was not it. Right here. This is the online course survey that they took. This is the post one, which is very similar to the pre. It just basically asks the kids, is the course easy to navigate through? Do you have easy access to the online course? Do you find the course design grab your attention? Do you find the course design... Oops, okay. It's in their choice. Whoops. Do you find the course dynamic in the fact that it provides you with plenty of outside resources? Is the online course mechanically functional? Are you able to communicate easily and in a timely manner with your online instructor? Is your online course interesting in the fact that you are not always doing the same thing? Do the online course pages load quickly? Do you have access to outside experts if you need them? Are you able to do your online course any time of the day? Is there a wide variety of assessments used? And they just had to put in their student ID number. That's how I evaluated them. And the pre was very similar to that with the same questions. So did the post and pre were based on that. Get back to my results here. So in the end, summarize my findings. I always got errors. I had a lot of trouble with this program. I did say there was a grade. I did have the data. I did tell the costs. I don't know what I gave up. I'll admit it. But through the findings, I say complete the evaluation. Where'd it go? Adobe Captive right there. So through my recording, or through my findings, based on the data used in the analysis, Adobe Captivate did not increase student interest and engagement. There is a 6.6 probability that Adobe Captivate increases student interest and engagement by 10 percentage points or more. Because that probability is less than 25%, we conclude that Adobe Captivate is not having the desired effect on student interest or engagement. There is a 100% probability that Adobe Captivate increases student interest and engagement by more than 0 percentage points. Interpreting the findings for this evaluation, Adobe Captivate is considered successful if the probability is at least 50%, which did not happen. Treatment, 11 teachers and students will use the online course. Comparison, 11 teachers and students will use the online course. The evaluate testing effectiveness of Adobe. I went through that. Random pilot, evaluation used randomized pilot. Kind of showed the characteristics. Kind of went through that. The evaluation period lasted 2 weeks. I said I had trouble using the RCE. Conclusion, next steps. I said suggest not using Captivate online course developers. Test another online course developer. Test Adobe Captivate for a semester course. From playing around and reading research about Captivate, I feel that I would be a person that would use Captivate. I'm very interested in it. I think that Adobe Captivate, I just needed longer period of time to evaluate Adobe Captivate, and I think the results would have came out a lot differently. So that was my finding with the RCE tool. Thanks.